All right, so in this video, we are talking about how to make the newspaper head. And I had already asked that you guys find a picture or possibly even, draw a picture. And so I have this picture here of my giraffe, and I've broken it down into very simple shapes. It currently does not look exactly like a real giraffe, but it gets the point. And so we're just going to say, hey, good enough. We can move on. If you currently have something in your hand, you're fine. Then I need you to put it down. All right. So I have this ready to go. I've got newspaper. I have tape here. I don't need scissors at this point. Oh, actually I might. But anyway, these are the basic supplies to get started. And I'm going to start with this head shape, which is a ball. And I want something almost about the size of my drawing. It's going to be about like that for the head. And now this head does not right now include the nuzzle. That's going to be a separate piece. So I'm going to take a piece of newspaper. And because I don't know how much this is going to be for crumping up, I'm going to start with maybe half of this. So I'm going to just very slowly rip it. Not worried about it being exact, because it definitely wasn't exact. I'm going to get some tape ready, and you will each have a roll of tape. Today you shouldn't have to share. And what you're going to want to do is take some pieces that are about 3 to 4 inches long, and you're going to stick them on the side of your table. You can see I've got some here. Okay? This is because when I start making this, I want to be able to grab a piece of tape and not have to put things down and rip the tape. Now, here's another little tip on ripping tape. I need you guys up here. Blah, blah, blah. Need your guys' eyes up here. Okay, do not take the tape and just pull it like this. The best way to rip tape is use your fingers. This is your your pointer finger and your thumb. Do that on both hands and rip like this. Okay? So again, I have some pieces here. I think I've got more than enough. So I'm going to go ahead and set my tape aside for now. And I'm going to make my ball shape. Now, when you make these, I would encourage you to put your hand like this, put it in, and then just kind of fold it over. And I'm just going to ball it up. Now, the reason we're going to do that is because the only thing I would have to tape if I left it like this is this side. But that's not big enough. So I'm going to take another piece, and I'm going to put it again inside with my hand holding it. I'm going to crinkle it over, and then I'm going to fold and roll and fold and roll. Okay? Now again, no tape is needed on this side, just on this side. Our goal is not to wrap the entire thing with tape. Okay? I only get so much tape a year. We go through quite a bit. And that's good. That's okay because of this project, but we can't overuse it, and we don't need to. So again, I think I need one more piece. And I think this time, now that I've got a pretty good understanding, I'm going to go ahead and use this full piece. Again, notice I put it in the center. I'm going to wrap it around like I'm wrapping a rock. And then I'm going to fold and roll. Fold and roll. Okay? Now that one was it was bigger, so it was a little bit trickier. But I'm going to put a piece of tape here and maybe 2 pieces here. And again, this is handy because I can grab my tape off the edge of the table. If I'd been thinking, I would have had a smaller one made, but I'm just going to boogie along here and make a quicker one, small one for his nuzzle. Again, I do a lot of folding because I don't want a really loose, with a bunch of openings, pieces of tape or newspaper. So again, taping here, and actually that's staying put, so I think I'm good to go. So I'm going to look at this and say, okay, what side looks best for the front? I think it's that one. So I'm going to put the nuzzle right there. And in order to put the nuzzle on, I've got to take a piece of tape on the side here, and it's on the nuzzle, and it's now attached to the head. See that? Now that's not enough. I'm going to need another piece over here. So I'm going to take another piece, nuzzle to head. So whenever you're adding anything, whether it be ears or like another ball shape or something, you've got to have at least two pieces that you tape from one piece to the other piece. And it's actually all together now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do are the ears. Well, we're going to use this stiff tag board paper for the ears. And the little trick I have for this is to make two ears at the same time. I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw it. Now we work in pencil so we can erase because we don't always get it right the first time, and that's okay. But I think giraffes have kind of big ears. So I think that'll work. I'm going to cut it out and tape it on. Now again, remember I did two at the same time so that they're pretty close to the actual same shape. And from here, if you have a big piece, you can put it back where you found it. It'll be in the front of the room. Or if it's really cut up, just throw it away. It's recycled paper. Oh, his nuzzle came off. That happens. So that tells me maybe I need one more piece just to secure his nuzzle a little bit better. So I'll put it on the top. Nuzzle to the head. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at those ears. That's a pretty good start. I like the big ears. We're going to exaggerate. They might be a little too big, but I like that. All right, so again, I'm still using tape from the side of the table, and I'm going to tape the ear to the head. And this is not enough. I need a piece on the back because it's a little too flimsy. So again, ear to head. And now, it's still kind of flimsy, but it's a lot better. It's good enough it's going to get me to where I need to be. I'm almost out of tape too, so I'm going to take a moment, put some pieces on the side of the table so I have them handy. Okay. And I'm going to tape ear to head. Okay. Now, you may be thinking, I'm not doing a giraffe. Well, you're still going to probably do something that has ears. It might have antlers and all of those. Now, I also have cardboard available if you need something that's even sturdier than this heavy tag board. But this stuff is nice because it's just sturdy enough, plus it's easy to cut. So, all right, what I see right now, I'm not going to worry about the eyes right now, but I do need to definitely put some horns on this guy. So the horns, and I like doing the giraffe because it's a good example of how to make like a horn, or possibly if you were doing an elephant and you needed to make a really long snout. So for this horn, or the horns, I'm going to go ahead and fold this paper over to get a couple layers. Okay, and if I was doing a snout on an elephant, I would probably get a bigger piece of newspaper. Or I could do it this way, I could roll it this way. But since I'm doing short horns, they're only about that long, I'm going to go ahead and roll this paper, and I'm going to roll it really tight. I need all eyes up, guys. I know this is getting long, but this is the important stuff. Look at how I'm rolling that. Just tight, tight, tight. It's not loose. So I'm going to roll, I'm going to roll, I'm going to roll. And if you happen to have questions right now, I'm going to ask you to put your hands down and just wait. All right, now this is not one horn. This is meant to be two of the horns. And so I'm going to say, okay, I want my horns to be about that big. Uh-oh, that didn't work. I should have taped it beforehand. And so I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on this before it unravels. All right, so we got a horn shape started. I have to re-roll this. Sorry about that. I'll go a little quicker here. And the horns should be pretty close, but one thing that's really cool about animals, kind of like humans, is nothing is exactly the same. So if I have an ear that's just a little bit different, or horn that's maybe a little bit longer, not a big deal. However, I do think this one is probably just a little bit too long, because I do want them to be fairly close to the same. So I'm going to go ahead and learn from my mistake, and I'm going to go ahead and tape it first. So I'm just going to lay it down and say, okay, right about here. Okay, so I've got my two horns made. How do I do the top of a giraffe's horn? What do you think? It is. So what would I do?
Do a little ball.
Yes. Somebody said it looks like a sphere, and I'm going to do a little ball of newspaper here. So I'm currently putting more tape on the side of my table so that I know I can go, okay, got to tape this on right here. And right here, I probably need another piece over here. And again, these ears are floppy, but they're going to get me to the point where I can paper mache. And so, yes, I'm going to roll a little ball shape, and I'm going to put it on top of here. Sorry, not roll. I'm going to crumple it up. Okay? So this is the basics. All right? Now, can I have that piece of cardboard? Our goal is to get, we're going to construct these today and tomorrow, and you are all going to get a piece of cardboard with an oval shape that you're going to cut out like this. When you get to the point where you have your animal done, we're going to pretend this giraffe is done, but right now he's missing a few things. Then I'm going to actually glue him onto the cardboard piece. This is our base. Okay, this is our base. Does that make sense? And this is our goal for today. Don't worry about the base, but what you're going to worry about is the basic shape with the head, the snout, the eyes, the possible ears, the horns, and all of that. We're doing a lot of balling up. We're doing some rolling. We're doing some drawing and cutting if we need certain things like this. All right? The next thing, and again, I'm just going to real quickly review. When you are doing your ball shape, look up, please. Don't do this. Okay? Because now that's going to be hard to tape. Does that make sense? Don't do this. Instead, we're doing a very neat and sophisticated crumple where we take the middle and we ball it up and we do a little roll and fold. Roll and fold. And it's much neater. In fact, just a little bit of this versus this, you can see the difference. It's only going to take a couple pieces of tape versus a whole lot with this one. All right?